we are going to be cleaning this absolutely filthy sink. This sink smells so bad, you can smell it over 20 feet away. Hasn't been cleaned in weeks. We're going to be using two products, Best Friend, Barkeeper's Friend Cleanser, and we're also going to try Barkeeper's Friend Soft Cleanser. The difference between the two is one of them has a like more liquid in it, so it's going to be kind of like a polish. Whereas okay, so that's nice. Don't have to remove cover from there. The difference between the two is the soft cleanser has a little bit more liquid in it, whereas this is strictly a powder. So this is going to be easier to use, but it's not going to be as aggressive and effective. This is strictly a powder, so what you're going to have is you'll decide the aggressiveness by how much water you mix as you clean. I'm going to use a paper towel. So what I want to do, let's make sure we've got this in the video. What I want to do on the right side, the first thing I'm going to do is spray the polish. And again, as I said, we're going to be using the paper towel. We're going to see how effective it is. We'll get this grain out of the way. Ooh, that's very watery. Okay, so the polish is very watery. I'm going to do that on the right side. And I'm not really pressing that hard. I'm using a paper towel, as I said, so I am scrubbing, though. I am doing a lot. There's a lot of force on the sink. Try some circular motion. So it's I'm sure they both have their purposes. Maybe if you're doing this on a wall, you would want to use the polish and not the cleanser, because that way you wouldn't have to use water. But I'm not really finding it very effective in a sink. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try the cleanser. I've used this cleanser before. I just went out and bought a couple containers. Haven't used this in years. At this point, it doesn't really matter. Let's mix some water in here. Okay, so what I'm doing now, this feels very pitted still. It feels very, compared to this is a little smoother because I haven't cleaned it. This wasn't really effective in the sink. And as I said, I've used this cleanser before. You gotta cover it up. It will dry out after a while. And I could use the sponge with this, but let's make it the same. Let's do a paper towel. So the effectiveness of this is dependent on how much liquid you have in here. So the less liquid, the more you're just rubbing the the powder. And so, but you've got to have some water. Can you see it already? It's already cleaning. Let's zoom out. Yeah, it's already cleaning but now we're strictly going dry. So you got to get a little bit of water on there and make it clean and make it effective. And as I'm doing that, you can't see the whole sink because I don't have the proper tripod, but it's already being very effective. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour a little bit more in here because we've already proven that the powder is more effective than I want to get the sponge wet. Powder's more effective in a sink setting than what is this stuff called? Than the soft cleanser. And it's very effective. I find this is much better than using, wow, look at this. The sink, as I said, hasn't been cleaned in a couple months. It's much more effective than Ajax and all the other cleansers that are out there. It's got a different chemical makeup, and it works. And it's not aggressively harmful to the sink. So I'm not really using this like you would most cleansers, where you scrub hard like a sandpaper, like an eraser pen type thing, and it sandpapers the dirt off. This is also a chemical reaction. The sink hasn't been this white in months, if longer. I wanted to be able to do a fair video, and so I paid the price of not cleaning my mom's sink for a little while so that I could do this test. It's also very good on the metal over here for the drain. Now I could get it cleaner, and so as I was saying, like right now, I've got most of the sink clean. Let's go in here. And you know, when you use the Ajaxes and the Comets, they're very difficult to remove the cleanser. You just have to keep on wringing out the sponge, because the stuff doesn't come off. Now I'd say 90% of this sink, 95% of this sink is cleaner than it used to be. I don't know if you can see it, but we've got some areas that I wasn't able to scrub properly. And those would be right around the drain. We've got a little bit over here, and we've got a little bit over here. And so I'm going to put some over here. I'm going to put some over here. I'll put some cleanser. The other thing is that if you buy this at Home Depot, that's where I bought this. You can find it in the market, but if you buy it at Home Depot, it's so inexpensive. It really is. So the area around the drain that I was telling you was, and remember I said the less water, the more aggressive. So if you fill the sink up with a lot of water, it's not going to be as aggressive. Now over here I said that we had some stains, so I applied more polish, more cleanser, and that way it was a drier, more powdery sandpaper consistency, and it's able to be more aggressive. Really looks good. The sink looks absolutely fabulous. It's midnight. It's 12:35, day after Thanksgiving, so I'm not going to stand here and spend hours cleaning this sink. But it really makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. And I just clean this metal, I just clean the strainer. But with the cleanser, it's just, it's beautiful. It comes off really nice. Nice, shiny, clean drain cover. You get the cleanser off the sponge. Ooh, that is hot. Very hot. Okay, so I want you to see almost the final result. Wow, that sink looks beautiful. And for me, I haven't seen this sink look this nice in weeks. So it looks extra special to me. The counter is absolutely filthy. The whole house is filthy. Everything needs to be washed down. It's disgusting. Oh my God, look at this filth. Okay. It's done a remarkable job. Not that the polish is bad. The soft cleanser, it will work on areas where you need to clean something, but you can't use the powder because then you're going to have to use the water, and you really don't want to use water in certain locations or on certain items. So let me shut this off. There we go. Look at that. This sink is probably 35, 40 years old. And then this is the side of the sink that I didn't clean with Barkeeper's Friend. It also wasn't as dirty as this, but I didn't clean this with Barkeeper's Friend. You can see how filthy it is. And not that this looks new, but it almost looks new considering it's a 30, 40-year-old, maybe even older sink. So there you go, Barkeeper's Friend. Whether you're using the soft cleanser or you're using the powder cleanser, this stuff is absolutely amazing.